Sea Breeze FM is calling. Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze FM is calling. All that makes for failure. We promise we will bring ya all the best around the clock, 24/7. Ha ha ha. Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze FM is calling. Come on over, tune on in. You don't know what you're missing. Feel the breeze, kick back, relax. Love and music to the max. Listen to the beats, crank it up, move your feet. Can you feel the heat? Sea Breeze FM is calling. Sea Breeze FM is calling, calling to you. Sea Breeze FM is calling.
Hey New Zealand, this is singer-songwriter Alex Guthrie from the United States, and I listen to Stu and Victoria on Sea Breeze FM.
Well, good morning and welcome to Sea Breeze 88 FM, and of course we are doing international connections at the moment, and I've got to say a big hello to my co-host over there in America, where it's 5 o'clock over there, and hello to Victoria. Hello.
Oh, hello. How are you today? Are you doing well?
Yeah, good. Things are starting to work now, and everything's sort of starting to come together again. Yeah, everything's cool. How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful. Well, I had a great weekend, and the sun is shining here in Washington, D.C. It's warm enough that you can throw flip-flops on, a pair of shorts, and a sundress if you want to. That is how warm it is. But I have to tell you, although I had a great weekend, I did have a slight problem this weekend, Stu, and I'm hoping that perhaps you will give me some advice since you sort of know a little bit about everything. So I swear to you, I had hundreds of ants that made their way into my house. And I'm telling you, Stu, these were at least 200 or 300 ants, and they looked so creepy because it was so many of them. I don't have a phobia or anything against ants. Now, my sister does. If my sister sees 2 or 3 ants at one time on the move, she completely freaks out. So I decided to go to the store to get some ant spray. So spray, but still, I think the spray was more like candy to these ants because they ate the spray and then more seemed to come. So I realize I'm going to have to call in the Top Guns and get some professionals in here to help me with this ant situation. Do you know anything about ants, Stu?
Well, in fact, I'm quite surprised you sort of got ants coming in this time of the year, because normally all these sort of rodents and pests seem to sort of head inside when the weather's getting cold. But here, you're coming into your summer. Well, you're in your spring, of course, but you're coming up to summer. Your days are getting warmer, as you said. You're running around in sock frocks, goodness gracious me, sun frocks, and you got the ants coming to visit you. You must have some yummies sort of kicking around there that, they got their eye on, I think.
Well, of course, I thought maybe perhaps I dropped a couple of crumbs here and there, so of course I vacuumed and did everything that I could do possible to get rid of anything that the ants would like. But yeah, they just seem to keep coming and coming. So I actually took a picture of it because I wanted you to see what it looks like. Like, I didn't want you to think that I was exaggerating when I said there were hundreds of ants. So I've got to find the picture and send it to you and maybe post it on our Sea Breeze page. So if anyone has any advice that they can help me when it comes to hundreds of ants invading my home, then please let me know, Stu. I'm looking forward to an answer.
Oh, look at you, you're going to get swamped with answers.
I know. And I don't want to kill the little guys. Like, I don't want to step on them or anything like that because I'm sure they're nice. You know how I feel about killing stuff. I don't want to do that. But if I have to resort to, I will kill every single one of those ants if they don't get out of my house. So there, I said it.
You just said that you went and bought ant spray to destroy the ants. What do you think that's going to do? It's going to kill them?
Well, apparently the ant spray, they're supposed to sort of taste this, and they're supposed to take it back to their colony, and then it's supposed to sort of infest the entire colony. Now, what happens in the colony? The little ants die. I don't want to have those images and thoughts in my head. I just don't want them around me. What happens to them later, I don't really care. But yeah, and like I said, apparently the spray is not working because it seems like it's candy because more of them came to taste this spray. but it's not working. But anyway, I'll keep you guys updated on my ant situation here at the house. But there is actually news that is taking place in the world, and global warming is making headlines in America today. A report out today says climate change is, quote, expected to become increasingly disruptive across the nation throughout the century and beyond, end of quote. The 840-page report says the weather will be more dangerous and stormy, but apparently there is still time to do something about it. And if you live here in America, I don't know what it's like there, but there have just been really, really extreme cases, Stu, where it's been extremely, extremely hot and just extremely cold. And summers here seem to be longer, and they seem to get hotter and hotter all the time. And plus, we've been actually getting more rain. But I think, climate change is not only an issue here in the States, but, all over the world, people are dealing with issues of climate change.
Yeah, it's global, isn't it? It is global. We know that.
Yeah. It is. And apparently, what someone does in one part of the world certainly affects someone in another part of the world. Now, we also have some good news here in America. This story is from a couple of days ago, but I still wanted to mention it for our audience since, we go a couple of days without having the opportunity to speak directly to you guys. So there has been encouraging news on the job market front here in America. This after the job market report card was released, saying over 280,000 jobs are added to the economy. Plus, hiring was up in February and March. But some economists say while jobs are up, that people are still filing for unemployment benefits as well. So sort of a mixed bag there. But just, talking to people that I know sort of within my inner circle, friends and family, people are feeling very optimistic about the jobs here in America, unlike what we were about a year ago. And, most people that I know who were unemployed actually have jobs now. So we're always happy to hear that. But even in a very tough economy, it appears, Stu, Americans are still the most giving country. According to a survey done by USA Today, the United States is the largest foreign aid donor. The top 5 making the list. I wish we had some drum music that we can stick in there for this list. The USA giving at $31.5 billion. Britain comes in second with $17.9 billion. Germany in third with $14.1 billion. Fourth is Japan at $11.8 billion. And last but not least is France, and they come in at $11.4 billion. So I always find that interesting that, here in America, it really doesn't matter what the economy is like, that we still are, even when it comes to foreign aid and then just aid in general, one of the most giving countries in the world. So I think that says a lot about us.
I think it would be interesting to know. Congratulations to America. I won't take it away from America. I'm not going to do that. But what I'd like to know is how much it is worked out at per population.
Mm-hmm.
So per head, how many people live in America and the amount of dollars that was donated. And with all the countries as well, not just saying America, I'm saying all the countries, and how much does it work out per head of that living population? It would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be interesting. In fact, I will go back and look at that study. I wasn't able, of course, to bring up every single thing that the study talked about, but we'll go back and see if they do have that breakdown. And on our next show, if they have it, we'll try to answer that question. But I was amazed that this money that these top 5 countries have been donating, that it's in the billions of dollars. I mean, and then that always sort of brings up the question that you'll hear many Americans say, well, we've got our own economic problems and problems here in America. Why is it that we're giving $31.5 billion in foreign aid to help other people when we need to help our own citizens? And I'm sure that question probably was raised in Britain, Germany, Japan, and France, and all the other top countries that gave as well. Yeah. But in any event, it is still nice to see that even, when we are having a very tough time here in America with our economy, that we're still a giving nation as well.
But charity does begin at home, doesn't it? A charity
yes, it does.
And the same question is asked in New Zealand. Like we donate, sponsor and God knows whatnot. And the question is still asked, hey, Doesn't charity begin at home? When you got street people and everything else, living the life on the street, no homes, and all this, and we're pouring money into other parts around the world where, it's a catch-22 situation. It goes round and round in circles, and I don't think there's any winners in the long run.
Yeah, no, I do. I agree with you 100%. I mean, there really is no right answer for that. But I think the idea that you continue to raise those questions, whether you're a citizen of that country or not, I think that's a fair question to raise, and that governments and people actually have to look at. Now, America also, when it comes to private industries, not the government, is also the top nation in terms of giving to other countries as well. But a little difference here. So instead of giving, the U.S. and Germany are trying to place more sanctions on Russia by the way of economic means. This as violence continues to escalate in the Ukraine. Over a 3-day period, Stu, 40 people have been killed. And again, meanwhile, the U.S. and the UN are hoping that economic sanctions that have been brought against Putin's inner circle will sort of cripple them, and perhaps they'll start taking notice and trying to make changes over there in the Ukraine. I likely don't see that that's going to happen anytime soon. But that, of course, is what the UN and Germany and other countries are hoping. So here's an interesting story. This was from a couple of days ago, and again, I just wanted to bring it because we didn't get a chance to mention it last week. So North Korea is throwing a few punches at the U.S., saying basically, quote, that we are a living hell, end of quote, when it comes to human rights. This comes after the United Nations released a report in February saying that North Korea gets a poor grade on human rights and how they treat their citizens. So what's wrong with America? According to this big essay that was written by North Korea, apparently crime is completely out of control in America, issues on race, unemployment, and there's plenty more that's on that list. The article that was in the Washington Post, and after the show today, we'll post that article. So if you're interested in reading North Korea thoughts on what they think about America and what a horrible place that we are and a living nightmare, then that will be an interesting article for you to read. But Stu, we are going to take a commercial break, and we're going to listen to some music and come back because we've got to talk about Monica Lewinsky. We've got to talk about Godzilla, my favorite story of the day. And we also have to talk about the White House Correspondents' Dinner that took place this weekend that I was not invited to. But because I'm a good journalist, I will still discuss it and I will still talk about it.
It's all right. I bought you home a doggy bag. I did.
Great.
All right. Hey, we got a great song here, and we're going to feature this girl a little bit today, but she's a local girl, Renee Theris from Palmerston North, just a few k's away from us here at Hamatangi Beach. Love this girl. She's got some new music out. Here's one of her top songs that's coming your way here on 88 FM, and it's called I Know You Love Me. Just stick around. Sea breeze.
Hi, this is Mark Raven, a news and traffic reporter in the United States, and my day can't start properly unless I'm listening to Stu and Victoria every morning right here on Seabreeze FM.
Then I